killed a man in a.
Was Kid only in the piracy for about 2 years though? He wasn't very long. I don't think his career was very long, or even sailing.
No, he did, but he did a lot in that short time.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was a shopkeeper, owned a shop in like Boston or
New York.
No, New York.
New York. Okay,
New York.
and he was a shopkeeper, had a boring life, was nothing going on.
Yeah, and he thought he had it made, you know, but unfortunately, times changed and they didn't want to know him. Yes, sir.
I had heard that, like, not the fictional, not the real life fairy tale Davy Jones, but the Pirates Davy Jones was actually based off of Captain Kidd, who was the.
That seems unusual because he didn't really do anything that was like that. And yeah, let's talk about some other fractured stories. The character Davy Jones had nothing to do with the Flying Dutchman, who came along somewhat later, and the Flying Dutchman was a guy named Cornelius Van something or other.
Vandervecken.
Yeah, and he, say it loud.
Vandervecken.
Yeah, Cornelius Vanderbeck, and he was, there's various stories told about how the Flying Dutchman got to be the Flying Dutchman, and I think the most prevalent story is that one time he was sailing in a race against other ships, and they would have races, you know, sailing races, just like they do nowadays, and essentially God came down and showed himself in the teeth of this terrible storm, and, you know, kind of warned them to slow down, or, you know, to strike their canvas and stuff like that. And he shook his fist and said, you know, I will win this race. I will not stop for anything. And God said, you think so, huh? And that was, he condemned him to sail the seas forever in his ship, the Flying Dutchman, and which then became the Flying Dutchman, and that's why he was, you know, out there sailing around. And that had nothing to do with a character named Davy Jones. When they tried to trace the antecedents of the name Davy Jones and Davy Jones' Locker and all that sort of stuff, they think it may have come from, you know, the word for demon, which was Dybbuk. And so maybe that got corrupted to Davy, and, you know, they don't even really know. But they basically took two legends, or mythological sort of people, and mushed them together into one creation. And that was kind of interesting. Actually, the character that played Davy Jones, Bill Nighy, had the easiest job of anybody, he said in an interview, of anybody that was filmed, because he didn't have to walk around swaggering in the Caribbean heat. And by the way, Jerry Bruckheimer, while he was filming this, and the director and all, encouraged the cast, and Keira Knightley said, no way. But a lot of people did take him up on it. Encouraged the cast members who were playing pirates and all to, like, not bathe or brush their teeth or anything like that, so they'd be out there filming in the heat of the Caribbean day after day, and have water thrown on them and seawater thrown on them constantly and stuff, to get into the role. And and Keira Knightley said, you know, in your ear, I'm not doing that. But some of them did. And I don't know whether Johnny Depp or Orlando Bloom did, because they didn't mention that. But I thought that was kind of interesting. And so some of those people that, you know, were grinning at you with, you know, horrible looking teeth, they made up their teeth, I'm sure, but they might not have brushed their teeth in 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, but Bill Nighy was filmed essentially like the character who played Gollum, Andy Serkis, wearing a little silvery gray cap and a silvery gray suit that had electrodes built into it everywhere. And so they could, you know, attach all the stuff. So he never actually wore pirate garb at all, except for that one very, very brief scene when you see him with his own face down in the brig, where he is talking to Teodalma. for a second there, they morphed his real face in and the beard and everything. He had to get made up and put on a hat for that. They really made him up and put on the hat for that. Other than that, he was walking around cool, calm, and collected compared to the rest of them who were sweating in multiple layers of this, you know, ancient-looking pirate garb and, you know, with these high boots and these, you know, multiple layers and everything like that. Until now he's wandering around in this little silver suit with his little cap and saying, "Oh, that looks so uncomfortable, chaps." You know, and they're all like, "Is it time?" Well, okay, great. Do I have time to finish eating my salad?